So Villa get the second half underway, and they're really going to have to produce in the second half if they're to stay in the under-21 Premier League Cup. Rovers lead 1-0 at half-time, courtesy of the Conor Mahoney goal about 55 seconds before the interval. And early on, Villa looking to get going on the front foot. That's put out a play off a Rovers man. That play for the Villa throw-in. Well, I can tell you at least Sports Village, it has not got any warmer as you might expect in second week in January. Fortunately for the fans who travel to come to this fixture, the next home game, well, depending on cup progress, would be towards the end of February. Here's Grealish, gets it onto his right foot, edge of the box, gets the shot away. It's deflected and ends up in the back of the net. Rovers on the back foot from the kickoff, really. We've only played 52 seconds at the start of the second half, and Villa have pegged Rovers back. Well, it was all down to Grealish, wasn't it? Got the ball, jinxed in field on his right foot. He's fortunate with the deflection. It's ended up wrong-footing David Raya and ending up in the back of the net. So Jack Grealish scores his second goal of the season and has made it Rovers 1, Aston Villa 1.
Jack Grealish, Villa's danger man. As soon as he got the ball there, you knew what he wanted to do, twisting and turning, looking to get it onto his right foot, to curl an effort towards goal. There appeared to be too many Rovers players in his way to get a strike through the crowd, but it took a wicked deflection. Wrong-footed David Raya, who was committed the other way, and so unfortunate. 51 seconds on my watch. 51 seconds into the second half, and it's 1-1. All Rovers' good work from the first half undone. And now it's as you were, Rovers having to force the initiative and try and get back in front again. So frustrating. Eric Kinde will be very, very disappointed with that.
Moving ball there, the reason why the goalkeeper has to take this again. That is so annoying, isn't it? Eric Kinde gets his 15 minutes and then, well, it was definitely within 53 seconds, and I'm entirely sure how many touches of the ball Rovers players might have had up to that point. Grealish allowed too much time, and all of a sudden Villa absolutely back in this, and with what they produced in the first half, you wouldn't have expected that.
Cold Rovers cold, you have to say. And now you can see like the wind in their sails. They immediately at Rovers to try and get another goal, and such a disappointing start this, and something I was not expecting.
Well, Rovers players certainly going to have to raise the game a little bit again now, having dominated that first half and being pegged back. And there's been no changes at half-time anyway, so Rovers exactly the same as they started, with David Raya in goal, as Villa mess around with this at the back a little bit. It's a back four of right to left. We'll get back to that in a second. O'Sullivan to the edge of the penalty area, gets his shot away, hits the post and ends up going wide at the near post. Well, John O'Sullivan picked the ball up, he was bursting forward and no one was tackling it. And he got to within shooting range, and that's pinged the outside of the post.
It's a brilliant shot, and there we see again John O'Sullivan with the ball, looking to drive at the Villa defence, commit defenders. Defenders hate it when people run at them like that, and it was a really strong run, got to the corner of the area, and it was an excellent shot, wicked effort. Just very unfortunately flicked the post. Would have been some goal. Good response from Rovers though there, immediately on the offensive, looking to get their noses back on front. Villa defensively all game have looked very shaky. Just keep putting pressure on this defence and cracks will appear.
The spur was fouled there by the Villa right back Leggett. The chance to run down the lineup anyway, having been rudely interrupted there by John O'Sullivan. Anyway, Rovers lineup with David Raya in goal, back four right to left of Ryan Nyambe, Anthony O'Connor, Jack O'Connell and Tommy Spur. Holding two in midfield, David Corson and Bradley Barres, with three in behind Jordan Slew, those three being Conor Mahoney, John O'Sullivan and Dean Rittenberg. What Rovers would give to get back in front at the start of this second half. Change in delivery taker, O'Sullivan swings it in, it's come off a Villa man, stays in play, and the goalkeeper gets that one. In fact, he's not, it's gone behind for a corner. The linesman signals that one's gone out before O'Connell headed it back across. And Rovers continuing to put Villa on the back foot. Short they go. O'Sullivan. Back it goes to Barres. It needs a delivery in here. It's gone in towards O'Connell, who's offside. Offside flag went up straight away. The goalkeeper grabbed it anyway. And despite having conceded at the start of this second half, you do feel as though Rovers have still got that momentum.
Absolutely, another chance there. Jack O'Connor was offside. He's been getting opportunities though, getting to the positions to get the chances, cause Villa problems. It's been a very good response though from Rovers. A couple of sights of goal, and you just need to keep playing like they did in the first half, because the first half performance was excellent both with and without the ball. So many positive aspects to it. Just bitterly disappointing that within the opening minute of the second half, Villa pegged them back level.
Looks like Villa have tweaked it a little bit as well. It looks like Grealish has gone up front for the start of the second half and ultimately scored the goal from that position. Slew battles away with Lewis, far side. Ends it with Mahoney. Mahoney's trying to get the ball away. That's going to be a corner. That's come off the Villa man. Rovers again forcing Villa on the back foot. They're not happy with the decision, but it looked to be a corner.
You can see Rovers almost angry that Villa are now levelling this game, immediately applying pressure onto this Villa defence.
And Mahoney this time with the delivery and towards the near post, headed away by Robinson. Falls on the volley for Sullivan, who struck that one well again, perhaps not as well as Barres in the first half. It's come off Barres and gone out of play. So it looks as though Villa have got more 4-5-1 second half. So Craig Hill in goal, back four, left to right of Courtney Wilding, Bradley Lewis, Kevin Turner and Tom Leggett. Five in midfield behind Jack Grealish. Here is Grealish looking to get away. And the Ambi steps in. They're going to have to be careful because he has got a lot of pace. Rovers looking to spring a counter-attack of their own. Out wide to Slew. Slew's going to need some help here. There's only Rittenberg in the box. So he plays it against the Villa man and out for a corner. And again, you have to say, it's simple stuff from Rovers when they get it forward, but having been pegged back start of the second half, they now need to go and win the game again.
Well, so far, in terms of winning corners, Rovers have done very well so far. Several corners on that far side. It's down the left where Rovers have had the most joy.
Mahoney, deeper that time. Up goes Anthony O'Connor, didn't fall for him. Well, Sullivan waits for the shot, takes it down well. What's he going to do with this one? He's going to cross it. Might fall back to the Rovers midfielder. O'Connor loses out. Barres doesn't. Comes across. Good tackle. Great ball from O'Connell as well, who sends it wide for a chance to cross here in towards Slew. Slew takes it down as well. Look at all the bodies in the box. Rovers need a good cross here. Slew against the defender. Back it comes to O'Sullivan. Miscontrol. That's the end of that Rovers attack. O'Sullivan looks at Slew and says, what was that for a pass? Rovers have it back again. Better ball that time to O'Sullivan. He gets it away, looking to shoot. Good tackle by Lewis. Oh, the referee doesn't see it that way, and that has to be a card. He's got his studs up there, and John O'Sullivan knows it. I thought he got a touch on the ball, but I think he might have followed through. Now, is this going to be a yellow card, or is this going to be a red? Because the Rovers midfielder's reaction suggested he did not like that tackle.
Well, this is a first for me. I don't think I've ever seen so many players rush to one man or around two men, and emotions threaten to boil over there. Was a strong challenge. May have got something on the ball, but must have got something on the man as well for him to react in that manner.
Well, there is a card. It's yellow. And number 5, Bradley Lewis, is the first name to go into the book. Perhaps a little bit surprisingly, there's been more than one tackle like that in the game, and it did look like he got a touch on the ball. But O'Sullivan didn't like it. Is O'Sullivan going to get booked as well? Well, I think that's purely for the reaction, but I also think it's unnecessary, really, from the referee.
Must be for the reaction. Both players squared up to each other. O'Sullivan really wasn't happy with that. It's a strong challenge, but Rovers playing well here. I like how determined all the players look. Really eager to get the noses back in front of this game. Very purposeful play. Putting Villa on the back foot, and this is a really good free kick opportunity.
Yeah, this is a chance. No vanishing spray in the Under-21 Premier League Cup. But the referee's marched the wall back 10 yards. It doesn't look to be 10 yards. It's generous from Villa's point of view. Chance for John O'Sullivan to shoot. It's hit the wall. And a chance to clear. Not the best of deliveries, it has to be said. I think it probably was a shot that he just didn't quite get right. It's gone out of play off the Villa man. Frustrated, isn't he, John O'Sullivan? Not quite had the impact that maybe some of the others might have done on the return to the Under-21 setup, and there are plenty of people here watching.
O'Sullivan has only really hinted at his quality so far. The occasional flashes, a little bit of skill.
Calder striding forward. Barres is trying to stick with him. Ended up hitting Jack O'Connell, and Tommy Spur goes forward. I wonder how long Tommy Spur is going to get as that one goes out of play, because we've played 55. A few weeks ago he got just over a half for the under-21s, but going to have to try and step up his recovery a little bit, isn't he? When Chris Brown played, for example, he got a good 60-odd minutes and obviously started playing for the first team, so hopefully Tommy Spur, as he seems to be, is all right at the end of this game.
So the very good game so far. Look much sharper than a couple of months ago when I saw him against Reading.
Good turn by Grealish, who got away there from the tackle. He's given it to Abdo. Abdo, no left foot. He gives it to Robinson. Robinson back to Abdo. Tries to get the shot away. It's hit Barres. Taken down pretty well by the Villa man. He might have fouled Rittenberg. Nothing given. It was Cowans who gets hold of the ball. It's been slightly better from Villa, hasn't it? They've kept hold of the ball better. Robinson gets that one back, gives it away. And Barres to O'Sullivan. It's such an open game, though. O'Sullivan getting away from the first tackle. Is he going to release the ball through? He is. Towards Rittenberg. And Rittenberg squeezes it in underneath the goalkeeper. Really good finish. And John O'Sullivan gets the assist that he's been looking for. Well, he ran forward and no one tackled it. And it allowed two Rovers players to run in behind. The second one was Rittenberg. That was the pass. And the goalkeeper couldn't quite get there to keep it out. Really good finish from the Rovers striker, who sends Rovers back into the lead after 57 minutes. And Rovers had to come out and win the game again. And they're certainly taking strides to do just that. We've played 57 minutes at Leigh Sports Village. And it's now Rovers 2, Villa 1.
Rovers supremacy rewarded with a goal, and what a lovely goal that was. John O'Sullivan there, really good play. We've seen a few times in this game him receive the ball from deep and look to take on Villa defenders. It was a fantastic run and a really intelligent pass to Dean Rittenberg. A few chances already this game, but that time he made no mistake. It was a neat finish under the goalkeeper, and Rovers back in front, and deservedly so. And what a fantastic response to being pegged back by Villa right at the very start of the second half. Eric Kindle will be delighted with the character his players have shown here.
Not scored too many times this season, has it, Dean Rittenberg? And he'll be glad to be back on the score sheet. Like we say, he has missed 2 chances already. Well, that's a good finish. The goalkeeper got something on it, couldn't keep it out. And Rovers back in front. And they have been, over the course of the game so far, better than Aston Villa. Spurt pulls away from the Villa man, sends that one long towards Slew, battling away with Lewis, who's been booked already. It goes in field to Cowans. O'Sullivan. Notably, that assist from O'Sullivan there came from him playing through the centre. And on the right-hand side, he was in the first half. That's changed. Here go Rovers again, 3 forward in this attack. And pass slightly behind Slew. Slew spreads the ball to Carson. Carson's going to have Nyambi as an overlapping run. Decides against using it. Carson gets the cross away. The goalkeeper puts it out the air, and that was simple for Craig Hill.
Another decent Rovers move, though. Also important in the next 5-10 minutes is that Rovers retain their concentration, don't become complacent. Maybe a lack of concentration was partially to blame for that goal at the start of the second half. Villa came out in a really determined mood, but judging by the past couple of minutes have gone, Rovers want a third goal here. They want to kill Villa off.
Again, a foul by the Villa defender. That was the right back, and again in the first team game, you could be looking at a card for that. Rovers were on the break. Tom Leggett gets away with that one. You're looking at Rovers' recent results, and there have been goals, and that's continued in this game. But you're looking at the games where there have been goals, and they've not necessarily come out on top every time. Ball goes into the box, falls for Mahoney. Mahoney tees it up for O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan needs to get a shot away here if he can. He's going to get the ball back. Might have bounced against his hand, but the Villa come away with it. Too tight there to try and get through. And space here for Abdo. It's been well held up by Niambi. That's really good stuff. Look at all the Rovers players that are back now, and it was a dangerous break. It's gone forward to Calder. Calder gives it to Wildin. Shouts were of no foul from the Rovers bench there, and Anthony O'Connor's seen that one behind for a goal kick. Well, we've praised the centre-backs once, haven't we, in the first half. They have let a goal in the second period, but they do look really comfortable out there, don't they, Anthony O'Connor and Jack O'Connell?
Well, that was really good defending from the team there, a real team effort to snuff out that Aston Villa attack, and both centre-halves have done well in this game. I want to mention Ryan Niambi as well at right back. I think has had a really strong performance so far. I like his aggressive style. He gets very tight to the man. He doesn't deny them doesn't give them any space at all. Denies them time on the ball, and for such a young man, he's played with real confidence tonight. A very assured display from him, and Rovers defensively have looked good. Denied Aston Villa opportunities. It's only a very fortunate deflected goal that has breached that defence.
Praise for Niambi. He takes the throw in towards Slew, who gives the ball away. And Grealish, looking to play himself out of a tight hole, was also giving it away, but has it back now off Carson. Plays a 1-2. He has got some pace, Grealish, hasn't he? You've probably seen him in the first team for Villa this season. He's played 11 times and 9 times in the league. Yet to find that first goal, and certainly some television programmes who broadcast football highlights have been praising him and hoping that he might get more of an opportunity in the Villa setup. And we've scored a goal this evening, but his side are losing. And he just looks talented, doesn't it? In terms of the players that they've got out there, he'd probably be the one that you'd say has played the best so far.
So far tonight, he's certainly shone for Aston Villa, being the star man. When he's received the ball, he's tried to make things happen, played a couple of 1-2s. Certainly got ability, and he's got the goal, of course, as well, even though it was very fortunate with the deflection.
Calder's pass, that's an awful lot of the right back who smashes the ball against the advertising boards. Ran a long way there to try and get forward with the attack leg, and the pass was just nowhere near him. It must be so frustrating when he made that much of an effort to get forward. To see the ball not even give you a chance of crossing it. Rovers 2-1 up. There's concern on both benches though, you can see it from the opposite side of the stadium. The Villa bench perhaps a little bit more animated, but Kinder's on his feet with John Fowler. They must be discussing how they can kill this game off.
That is the concern. Rovers so good in the first half, a 1-goal lead, and then we're in 60 seconds of the second half, it's 1-1, and that's how fast things can change. They say it only takes a second to score a goal. It can just take one moment of quality or one moment of good fortune, like we saw with Villa's equaliser, and all that hard work is undone. But Rovers are very good value so far for the 2-1 lead. Hope they can maintain it or even add to that lead as well. They're certainly not just sitting back and defending, looking to get forward. Plenty of bodies inside the Villa half.
Slew to O'Sullivan. Heavy touch, just gets him away from the defender, but he did well, Abdul. Ends up giving it back to O'Sullivan. Poor O'Sullivan tries to give it to Carson. He's going to need some help here. It's 2 against 1. Manages to squeeze it back to Carson. Gets his cross away. Might fall for Rittenberg. Back to Barres. No chance inside the area there. Very tight, the Villa market. Ends up being cleared forward. Turned by Grealish, who looks to send Robinson in over the top. O'Connell cut a little bit flat-footed, but look at Niambi. What a tackle to get back and deny the Villa striker that O'Connell mops up, puts it behind for a throw-in. But Ryan Niambi there saved Rovers with his covering tackle and his pace.
We have to say that is outstanding defending, because Villa there launched a quick counter-attack and O'Connell appeared to be done for pace. The Villa man was ahead of him, Callum Robinson, but he didn't pull the trigger quickly enough. And it was a fantastic recovery run from Niambi. Showed great pace to get back, and it was a fair challenge. He rescued his team, and that's a dreadful ball in for Aston Villa. Well, that was a real moment of concern for Eric Kinder and Rovers, and thankfully Niambi came to the rescue.
Yeah, there's some movement on the bench, and I don't think it's entirely unexpected, because Villa, apart from getting that goal inside the opening minute of the second half, haven't been great. And it's number 10, Graham Burke, who's gone off, and he's been replaced by number 12, Jarrell Sellers.
Well, I mentioned a few moments ago about Rovers having to maintain their focus. It only takes a second score a goal, and we saw there Rovers on the offensive, and then all of a sudden Villa with a chance. Great defending though.
Mahoney goes out the outside and gives it back to Spurt. Into Slow. Slow gets away in the area. Oh, pulls it back for Rittenberg, but it was behind him and he thought there was somebody else running onto it. There wasn't. Heading hand stuff from a few of the Rovers strikers there.
This game's really stretched now. Villa looking to come forward. Chance for Rovers inside the area. Slew again did reasonably well, and it was just the ball back across. Couldn't pick out a Rovers man. Lacked direction. I get the feeling though there's going to be another goal in this game yet. So open, so much space. Both teams are looking to attack.
Well, Grealish catch out Raya there, and David Raya's mistake has led to the substitute scoring. Less than a minute after coming on, Jarrell Sellers has equalised. Oh, that is a real mistake from the Rovers keeper who's been on loan at Southport. He boots the ball forward and he can't believe it. He just miscontrolled it, I think. Couldn't get his clearance away. Grealish nipped in and it allowed the simplest of finishes from Jarrell Sellers. He's only been on the field about 50 seconds to squeeze the ball underneath the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. Such a soft goal to give away. And Eric Kinder makes a change. But a David Raya mistake there has led to the equalising goal, so it's Rovers 2, Villa 2.
Oh dear, dear. Really big mistake, and when goalkeepers make errors like that, they're usually punished, and it was expertly dispatched from the substitute Jarrell Sellers, but it was a gift of a chance there. Rovers messing about with it at the back, and a sloppy touch, sloppy pass. And Rovers were punished. 2-2. We're set for penalties at the moment.
Well, we are, because we've played half of the second half, and if scores are level at the end of the 90, we will see penalties to determine who will go through and play Newcastle. Preston was on for Slew as Rittenberg takes over. That was the change that Rovers made just after that goal. Some of the language out there is horrendous, isn't it? As you might expect from two opposing teams playing a game of football. Barres forward to O'Sullivan again. Rovers have to go and win the game, and they shouldn't really have to because they've been much the better side. Villa have caught them out. Two mistakes really. Here goes Leggett, gets his cross away, and goalkeeper's come. Good shout that time from David Wright. He'll be disappointed with that one. He's not made too many mistakes for Southport and for the under-21s really this season, and ultimately it has cost Rovers a goal.
A very uncharacteristic error from David Raya. Hasn't an awful lot to do tonight, just the one real save in the first half. Picked the ball out of these net at the start of the second. No chance for the first goal, a wicked deflection, but he was culpable for that one there, and I cannot believe that Rovers aren't ahead in this game.
Calder gives it to Wilding, pulls it across, Raya keeps it out and somehow gets to the second ball. It was Robinson who'd pulled away at the far post, puts his head in his hands. Just about got away with that then, the Rovers keeper. Rovers on the back foot, and I honestly can't believe that Rovers aren't winning this game comfortably. But some of the football that Villa have played have somehow managed to get around the back with the pace. Wilding takes that one down, almost had an assist there.
Well, we can't believe it's 2-2, but it's very nearly 3-2 there for Villa. To see the encouragement that a goal gives you. Villa on the offensive, and a good big piece of goalkeeping there from David Ryan in that instance. Vitally important they cut out the cross, which he did do, but so much space in this match. Both teams going for the win.
Robinson gives it infield. It's a good tackle from O'Connell. Kept in play by Robinson. Trying to tee up one of his teammates in Abdo. Wilding. Robinson goes for the 1-2 with Wilding. Barres heads it behind. And Villa just about producing some pressure here because it's pretty much the best spell we've seen from them in this game.
Certainly is. Concerted spell of pressure, and Rovers going to have to stand up strong here.
Everybody back to defend this corner, which is going to be swung in right-footed. One of the Villa men went down there, and David Wright comes to claim that one. Good hands that time from the Rovers goalkeeper, who's been solid since giving away that second goal. Here's Tommy Spur. That's a foul. That has to be a card again. I mean, come on, referee. It's just getting stupid now. Tommy Spur over halfway. It's late. He's not got the ball. And Ricardo Calder surely has to be booked for that.
Is he going to his pocket? Yes, he is.
The suspense when someone says he has to be booked and then the referee decides against it. But it is a yellow card and it looked to be one from here.
Correct decision there. Really good distribution from David Raya. Same pair of hands since the goal went in. Confident goalkeeping from the corner. Picked the ball out of the sky well and just waited a couple of seconds and then an excellent throw out.
So Tommy Spur stands over this, having just been fouled. He's just going to clip it down the line to Mahoney. It was a good ball, wasn't it? Miscontrol didn't help. It just allows the Villa substitute Sellers to bring it away. There's plenty of pace about this Villa front line now, isn't there? Robinson leaves that one, ends up with Abdo. Stabbed forward, that's going to be the goalkeepers. He'll see that one early, David Wright. Well, you're looking at 71 minutes in a cup tie that could go to penalties, and let's hope it doesn't get there. But if I suppose I'll give you 5 minutes or so to think about who your Rovers penalty takers would be. Be unfair to ask you that straight away, wasn't it? Here come Villa. He left that one over the top. And Raya claims that one. O'Connor. Back to David Raya. Left-footed forward, Barres. Beaten in the air. Calder took a ride on him a little bit. Villa have the ball with Sellers. Now Abdo. Sellers again. It's really creative in the way that he plays Sellers. Niambi's run that one out of play. I just hope that Rovers aren't getting too frustrated now. In fact, Rovers are going to get a free kick, are they? Not entirely sure what happened there. Niambi's been booked, and that's a ridiculous decision because it looked as though he might have gone into the advertising boards and tried to get himself up. But, I mean, there's not many referees that will give this many cards out, and there's none that you'll see give a card out for that.
I think we're all a little bit baffled by that decision from the referee. No one was expected the card there. But Rovers Villa even are looking a much better team now. They've got Jarrell Sellers on the pitch, scorer of the second goal. He has given Villa a little bit more cutting edge in the final third, a creative player. Does make you think, why didn't he start the game with the impact he's had?
Calder gives it to Grealish. Must have wear a lot of gel in his hair, doesn't he? You can see it beaming off the floodlights. And it goes to Sellers. Edge of the box. Ends up with Grealish again. Rovers panicking a little bit here in defence. Robinson crosses it in towards the middle. That was a high foot. That should have been a free kick for a foul on O'Connell, but Rovers clear anyway. And notably, the referee didn't play advantage. You can't criticise him too much, though, can you?
Certainly can't if you're a manager. I think if you're a commentator, you can get away with a little bit more, Ed.
I think Villa have just upped it a little bit, haven't they? There's more pressure up front. There's Robinson and Grealish. They've obviously got a little bit more threat through the goal scorer Sellers. But Rovers just look like they're losing it a little bit in terms of the concentration and getting the ball down on the floor. Let's hope that'll change. Good play from Rittenberg. Good touch from him. Gives it towards Carson. Oh, great tackle in there. He's going to fall for Niambi. Niambi back to O'Sullivan. Tries to pick out Carson again. That's two passes that have both been intercepted by Wilding. Good sliding tackles, but just hoping that Carson might be able to pick up the ball in that kind of area. Here's Niambi, who's quick. Gets away from the first tackle. Into the penalty area. Back to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan to Barres. Does he fancy a shot? He does, left-footed. Always arrowing away from the top corner. Under pressure from Ricardo Calder. And Barres' shot doesn't trouble the goalkeeper.
Shot was a long way wide in the end. Decent build-up play. Niambi getting forward well. Villa, though, since the second goal, have been the better side, you would say. It's given them real belief. You see, Rovers have been knocked since that goal, really. Perhaps a little bit disbelief in them that they're not in front of this game with the dominance they've enjoyed for the most part.
Robinson into Grealish. Grealish turns away from Barres, who's getting back on him. Good tackle Although not in the eyes of the referee, who seems to be watching a completely different game than the one that we're watching. I thought Barres got a touch on the ball there, and the referee's gone to his pocket again. And if this goes to penalties, you wouldn't put it past him not taking 5 penalties and writing down the score wrong in his notepad. This is ridiculous. I don't see anything wrong with that. Got the ball, brainless refereeing. And compare that tackle to the one that the Villa player got away with in the first half that he didn't get but for, that was off the ground. There's just no comparison.
It's another questionable call from the official out there. Certainly a good shooting opportunity for Villa. Whether it was a free kick is debatable. Not from where I'm viewing the game from here. Very good view of proceedings. Aston Villa through Callum Robinson with a very good shooting opportunity. It's fairly central.
There's a few of us with the same view, isn't there? And you can just tell by the shakes of the head when people don't think it is. Robinson shoots over the wall. David Raya sees it early. Covers across his goal line. Anyway, I hope the last 14 minutes or so isn't all about the referee, because this game has been pretty good and we've seen Rovers play some good stuff. But somehow it's 2-2 and Raya's clearance again. Hits the back of Grealish. Onside is Robinson, according to the linesman anyway. Running towards the penalty area, unchallenged, pulls it across. No one there to tap home. Not yet anyway. Beggar still inside the penalty area, pulls it across again. Oh, and there's a touch that time that's ended up wide. Not entirely sure which Villa player got on the end of that one. One of them did. And they've ended up playing that one just slightly wide. It might have even been number 8, Ricardo Calder. Not entirely sure, but he didn't get enough on it to send it on target.
In terms of performance, Villa's has been so much better this second half, and particularly since they made it 2-2. That was very good play from them, using the width, getting dangerous low balls into the penalty area, plenty of options in the middle, and Rovers are going to have to sort themselves out of the back, because Villa are going to win this game if they're not careful. Villa are looking the more likely, that's for sure. 2 chances there, 2 dangerous low balls across, and in the end it was Calder who couldn't force it home. Rovers looking shaky.
In the ambit, well, Sullivan over the top to Preston, who wants to hold that ball up. Slightly heavy touch, sent it away from Carson, and Villa could clear. Notably in the second half, I don't think we've quite seen as much from the fullbacks, have we? Tommy Spur's not really sent himself forward on too many runs. That's offside against the Villa man up front. Just tell, can't you, when the referee ends up giving some silly yellow cards at the players' heads, they turn around at the referee. They're just asking, what is happening, really. It's pretty obviously an offside call, but taking a while to determine exactly where this is going to be played from. The ambush being sent in field as this goes forward from O'Connor. It's going to end up with Tommy Spur. Wouldn't mind a long throw from there, would it? He's going to go for the cross instead, gets it away. And it's behind for the goal kick, and Tommy Spur sits there on his backside. And after another run forward, had to get a cross away, which didn't stay in. How's he done for you this evening, Dan?
He's done well, particularly first half. I was impressed with his performance. Defensively, looked solid enough. Wasn't really tested too much, but going forward, he was excellent, very confident in possession. Always looking to support attack. Second half, we haven't seen as much from Rovers down that left-hand side, where Rovers had so much joy in the first half. But Tommy Spur will certainly have benefited from the 70-odd minutes or so. Might get the full 90 here, who knows?
Yeah, well, we're on nearly 79 now, and there's no signs of a change on the bench for Kinder's side. They only made 1, and that was just after the second equaliser for Villa's point of view. Jordan Preston coming on for Jordan Salute. A few players that are on a yellow card, though, now, isn't there? There's Niambi, there's Bradley Barres, and John O'Sullivan as well. There won't be extra time if it's a draw, though. We'll go straight to penalties. Carson back to Mahoney. Tries to send a crossfield ball. That's delightful, isn't it? Straight to Tommy Spur. I wasn't sure if it was deflected, but I'm pretty sure when it lands about a yard away from someone 50 yards away, that I think that one pretty true. O'Sullivan. Rovers need to see more of him if they're going to go on and win this game in normal time. O'Sullivan. Mahoney back to O'Connell. O'Connell to Barres, and every Villa man behind the ball, isn't it? It's Case of trying to soak up the Rovers' pressure, and it's not really what we saw in the first half, because Rovers not quite having as much reward in trying to cut through Villa. It's gone short towards Barres, giving away. Lapse in concentration maybe there from O'Connor. Robinson gives it back to Grealish. Again, the Rovers defence back off him until O'Connell takes over. Be cleared by Tommy Spur. Up towards halfway. Well, Wilding turns away from Preston. And now it's Rovers' turn to defend. Everybody behind the ball. Cowans. Not too much movement though, is there, until that pass went forward to Abdo. Abdo gives it to Grealish. Grealish to Sellers. Can't get his shot away. Back it goes to the fullback Wilding. And Robinson. Robinson will fancy a goal. Gets his right-footed shot away, and David Raya straight behind that one. Pretty routine save once he saw it early, the Rovers keeper. And straight up the other end again. Rovers goal. Rittenberg gives it to Mahoney. Phil, we've got a few players back now to try and defend this. Mahoney's still going. Into the box, he's got Tommy Spur on the overlap. Doesn't use him. Back it goes to O'Sullivan. And Barres. O'Sullivan. Tommy Spur's made a run. And O'Sullivan didn't see him.
Too slow from Rovers this. Good goalkeeping from David Raya. Quick distribution again.
Spur swings it in. Cleared at the near post by Lewis. Falls for Rittenberg, who sends it into Preston. Might be a chance for Carson at the end of this. Carson's shot deflected. Villa aren't getting this clear. Not great defending. Summed up pretty much the whole game, but somehow they have got it clear. And that'll be a yellow card for Tommy Spur without a doubt. There's no question about the referee's decision that time. Taking out Grealish. There was no chance that Tommy Spur was racing back to catch him then. Absolutely no chance. He knew who that was, and he knew how much pace he had. And 81 minutes into your comeback, I don't think you fancy chasing after him.
Cynical challenge that. We see those quite regularly from experienced players. He wasn't going to get there. He'd done him for pace. In many ways, the sensible move to bring him down on halfway. Stop the Villa attack. This game is on a knife edge, though. Both teams almost taking it in turns to attack. Very patient play from both sides.
I can't believe how many cards we've seen, honestly. Sometimes we moan about the cards not being given, but they've just been for ridiculous tackles, and perhaps the referee might look at it at the end of the game and think he might have got a few wrong. Mahoney goes down the line. 3 in the box for Rovers. They have to settle for a throw-in, and we've got just over 7 minutes left, otherwise it is penalties to determine who will win this Under-21 Premier League Cup tie and face Newcastle away in the next round in the quarter-final of the competition. Be tough on Villa, wouldn't it? They played away last round and played Rovers this round, and then it'd be Newcastle if they were to win. Rovers got a bye last round, so fortunate. Tommy Spur hurls this one in towards the near post. Oh, it almost fell for Carson. Didn't quite. One of the Villa men just got a touch on it. Looking at the bench and thinking there probably will be a change in a minute as well. I don't know if it's Jack Doyle maybe who's gone to warm up. It's gone back from Barres to David Wright. It probably makes sense, wouldn't it, if it's Jack Doyle who's gone to warm up. Tommy Spur maybe just getting a little bit short of 90 minutes.
Possibly. Won't be a surprise to see that change made. It's been a decent evening's work for Tommy Spur. No question about his yellow card, but it's been otherwise satisfying night. Good performance from him.
Is Eric Kinder thinking about penalties yet, or is that too early still with 6 minutes left?
I'm sure he'll be thinking about it a little bit, shall we say, but the way this game has gone, who knows, there might be a late goal yet.
And Sullivan swings that one forward, the heads go up, it comes off Kevin Turner. Well, I asked you, Dan, who your 5 penalty takers would be, and now you've got your chance to surprise me.
No real surprises, you're always looking at the attacking players as the ones to take your penalties.
Robinson into the penalty area. We'll get 5 names from Dan shortly as Nyambi takes that one over. Perhaps when the next substitution is being made, Dan, you've got your chance to name your 5, and if you can get them all right, I'll buy you a lollipop. Sellers out to the right hand side, out of play. There you go, there's your chance.
Dean Rittenberg, Conor Mahoney, John O'Sullivan. We'll go David Carson. Ooh, and who else? I'll tell you what, the way he's played tonight, once I see Jack O'Connell actually take one. He's got himself into a attacking position on quite a few occasions. Might fancy his chance from the spot, but I'm sure Eric Kinder will be thinking about it a little bit now. There's still time for both teams to grab a goal and win this game in the 90. It's only natural when it gets to this point and the match is still level that you do start to think about the possibility of penalties.
Niambi bursting forward, stayed on his feet as well, to his credit, despite the tackle. Goes back to Carson. Plenty forward for Rovers. Swung in. The header's kept out. Can Rovers send it in? They can. It's been turned home by Bradley Barres. And Rovers back in front with barely moments left in this game. Well, the defending is absolutely shocking from Villa, isn't it? Down the right-hand side, great play from Niambi, who's been one of the contenders for man of the match. Got away from the tackle, which was a bad one, but he stayed on his feet, gave it back to Carson. Rittenberg might have scored with the first header. That was a great save from the keeper. But who reacted fastest? It was Bradley Barres. And with 4 minutes left in this Under-21 Premier League Cup game, we might not need penalties after all. It's Rovers 3, Aston Villa 2.
Well, late drama at Leigh Sports Village, and Rovers deservedly back in front for the third time in this game. And Bradley Barres was on hand to finish emphatically into the roof of the net after a fine stop from Craig Hill from Dean Rittenberg's header. Surely Rovers now can hold on for the victory they so richly deserve.
Substitution for Villa. Straight after the goal, number 7, Khalid Abdul going off. Or number 16, Daniel O'Brien. It's like you're not getting that lollipop, Dan. Unless Villa score again. Let's hope that doesn't happen, because Rovers have got 3 minutes of normal time plus whatever additional time the officials might see to hold on and progress to the last 8 of this competition. It's gone out of play off Preston. Villa are really going to have to get a move on if they are going to get this equalising goal again.
Very little time now for Villa to come back into this game. They've done it twice already. Rovers must switch on.
Down the right-hand side, the right-back's got away and pulled across. Oh, wow. Robinson's missed a header from about 4 yards out. Well, Tommy Spurs claiming that the ball might have gone out. Leggett kept it in, pulled it across, and your striker from that kind of range has to hit the back of the net to give you a chance of winning this game. Robinson's missed, and Rovers have been let off with, well, not great defending yet again.
Well, maybe Tommy Spurs just getting a little bit tired. It's been a good evening's work for him. In that instance, though, he's caught out of position, the wrong side of his man. And the ball comes into the penalty area, and you expect Robinson to score from such close range. He can't direct on target. That's a bit of a let-off for Rovers because the defending was poor in that instance. Still 3-2, but the way this game has been, it's been a thrilling match. There could be late drama yet. You hope not from a Rovers point of view.
Here comes the substitute, O'Brien. Down the left, got his cross away. He's deflected. O'Connor should be able to complete the clearance, and that's cool. Keep hold of the ball. Just over 90 seconds left. That has to be a foul on Jordan Preston. Bundled to the ground there off the ball by this man. And clips it forward towards Robinson. Uncharacteristic clearance there forward. The offside flag's up against Robinson anyway. Well, the seconds are ticking away, aren't they? And I don't think that anybody could deny Rovers this victory if it is going to be a win.
No, definitely not. Villa will argue that the second half performance has been much improved, which it has, and they've shown good character, come from behind twice, but in truth, Rovers have dominated this game for the most part. In the first half, they led by 1, but it could have been 2 or 3. And you've got to give Rovers praise for the determination they've shown. Despite being pegged back twice, they've gone on and got the noses back in front again. Just need to see this through now for what would be a first win in 9.
50 seconds left. The fourth official hasn't yet looked at his board. I'm not convinced we'll get much injury time. Rittenberg battling away. Do well to keep it in the corner for a few seconds. Could do with some help, but he'll take a throw in, absolutely. 3-2. Wow, what a second half we've seen. It was 1-0 at half-time. Villa twice equalised, but Rovers each time seemed to come back with a goal that we would and should have won the game, but this time at 3-2, hopefully that will be the last that we'll see in terms of drama and equalisers. Rovers' progression in the cup is pretty much down to these last few seconds. They'll get a throw. And the referee wants them to move back. And the fourth official's looking at his board now. How many minutes? I don't think we're going to see more than 2. Well, there have been quite a few yellow cards, haven't there, in the second half? And the fourth official goes with 5. He goes with 5 minutes. 5 minutes for Rovers to hold out. I can't believe that. 5 minutes added time for a half that's seen no injuries. Barres gives it to Preston. Preston to Rittenberg. Rovers going to have to maybe try a different game plan. Keeping hold of the ball in the corner for 5 minutes is probably not going to work. O'Sullivan. I honestly can't. We've had 3 substitutions and we've had nobody go down injured. So where has 5 minutes come from?
That's hopeful, really, from Rovers there. Long ball forward. It's going to be a nervy 5 minutes. Plenty of time for a goal.
I wonder if he's put the wrong number up there, you know. I do wonder whether we are actually going to play 5 minutes. If we are, that's absolutely insane, but you don't put anything past these officials, do you, that we've seen this evening? Well, Sullivan plays that one forward. It gives Villa a chance, doesn't it? Rovers, are they going to settle back on this 1-goal lead again? Here goes Grealish. Rovers do well to take him out here. And one of the Rovers players gets a touch on the ball, so they do even better than that. 2 against 2, if this is right. Forward it goes, and Rovers can't keep hold of it. Spur will do that. He'll lump that one forward towards Rittenberg. He's got a chance of holding on to that one. Throw goes Villa's way. We've played nearly 2 minutes to the 5. And I've still not got over the fact that it's 5 minutes additional time.
Well, Rovers have navigated these first 2 minutes pretty well. Just that one run from Grealish, which looked promising. Took 3 or 4 Rovers players to get the ball off him in the end. When Rovers are regaining possession, it's just anywhere will do. Blasting the ball forward upfield. The further away the ball is from Rovers' goal, the better.
Does Eric Kinder fancy looking towards his bench? He still has 2 substitutes to be used if he does need them, and sure, to eat up some seconds, he might be tempted. Well, Rittenberg has the ball here, left-hand side. He's only really got Preston up with him. Rittenberg, good clean pair of heels there, Sean. Goes in towards the penalty area, keeps hold of the ball. Back it comes to Barres, whose goal looks to be the match winner. Good play that from Rittenberg, wasn't it? Keeping hold of it. You can sense the confidence from some of these Rovers players. It has done them the world of good to be out on loan. Conor Mahoney miscontrols. He's not been out on loan. And Villa have a throw. We've played half of the 5 minutes additional time. I hope the referee's got some de-icer in his car. They don't deserve to equalise, do they, Dan?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think Rovers have played very well tonight and they deserve this victory. Need to hold on, though.
Tough game in the next round. It would be Newcastle away.
Already played Newcastle this season. In fact, the last game here actually before Christmas, and it was a 3-1 victory for Newcastle. They were impressive on the night. They're top of Division 2 in the Premier League, so it would be a tough test, but still got to concentrate for the final 2 minutes here.
O'Connell gets up for the ball. Barres takes the last touch off that. Villa have still got a chance. They've still got 90 seconds. Need to get on with it quickly, though.
Maybe a chance here. Midway inside the Rovers' half.
Sellers gets away, pulls it across, and Niambi heads clear. Carson who's forward. No one on halfway apart from Preston. Ball nowhere near him, though. Wildin. Grealish. Villa looking towards him for some inspiration. Robinson. Mr. Golden, chance to make it 3-3. Cross in towards the middle and the far post. The Villa man can't quite get there. That's going to run out of play. Oh, it's the fullback coming in round the far side. Leggett just couldn't grow enough. Cross was too far in front of him.
And thankfully for Rovers as well, the Aston Villa man got his toe on the ball, which means that it's a Rovers throw-in. Possibly just relieved the pressure a little. 4.5 minutes now played. Almost there.
They can sense it. They can almost taste it, the Rovers players. Victory for the first time in what would nearly be 4 months. They'll go back to the goalkeeper. The referee looks at his watch. I don't think Villa realise how little time they've got left here. We've played the 5 minutes. Tommy Spur's knockdown ends up going to Grealish. One last chance here for Villa. Grealish shoots and he's wide of target. And Rovers are through to the last 8 of the Under-21 Premier League Cup. An entertaining game at Leigh Sports Village when Rovers ensure a first victory since the 19th of September. Started off in the first half. A goal from Conor Mahoney on the stroke of half-time. Volleying in after a Tommy Spur cross. Villa equalised through Grealish within a minute of the restart. But Rittenberg gave Rovers the lead 12 minutes after the interval, squeezing the shot under the goalkeeper. David Ryan mistake after 66 gifted Sellers, the substitute, a goal to make it 2-2. And it looked like penalties might have been the end result. But for Bradley Barres, who stepped up 4 minutes from time to volley Rovers into the last 8 of the competition. If Rovers are looking to win this, they'll have to replicate Reading last season, but they've given themselves an almighty chance because at Leigh Sports Village, the first time in 2015, let's hope there's more to come like that, because it's finished. Rovers 3, Aston Villa 2.